Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be hopping into the new Path of Exile Expedition expansion, and there's going to be a new beginner player's guide to the game if you are hopping into Path of Exile for the first time. That's the goal with this video. So instead of making a video where I just go ahead and give you like 20 minutes of suggestions and other things, Path of Exile is a very difficult game, so what I feel like is the best way to actually be able to complete the game is do a full walkthrough, and this is what this is going to be for. So once you go ahead and log in, all you got to do is create a new character. Now, important thing, you have to select Expedition if you want to experience the new content. This is the whole reason of playing Path of Exile now, is to hop in the new league. What Solo Self found, by the way, is it makes it so you cannot trade or party up with other players. It's something I would not recommend people to do for the first time hopping into the game, because playing with people is a lot more fun. Hardcore means if you die, then it becomes a standard character. So yeah, it's definitely just good. Select Expedition, hop right in, and you'll have a much better experience. So Path of Exile is one of the most difficult action RPGs of all time. There's no doubt about that. And it's okay if you die or you find this game to be difficult. It happens to every single person the first time they play this game. Now, in terms of what class you want to select for the very beginning, my guides are more so about trying to teach you guys how to play Path of Exile versus following a guide exactly step by step. However, for the sake of making life a lot easier for you for the first time, I'm going to offer you guys some suggestions for selecting the class that you select. Now, with the most recent update, a lot of things have been nerfed. There are technically some buffs as well, but I want to first off give you guys a variety of gameplay. What I plan to do in this play session is play a caster build. However, you can play lots of different builds, even using this video kind of as a sort of reference to learning how some of the mechanics work in the game. But I first off do want to show you guys gameplay of maybe something that you're interested in playing. So if you want more of a ranged character, there is a class called the Ranger, and it's going to be more for you. And I'm just giving you guys some gameplay. This is an Ice Shot build that I used a few leagues ago, and Ice Shot has actually been buffed since then, but overall most of the builds have been nerfed all across the board. It's not like this video is specifically like older, so it's nerfed. Pretty much every build got nerfed with the most recent update, but this is Ice Shot. It's a very popular build to go ahead and utilize as well for starters. This build over here is a Cyclone build. We are going to be playing Berserker, what you're seeing in the gameplay. So if you like to play things that are more so like hold down one button, spin to win, that's your playstyle. If you've played Diablo 3 or Diablo 2 Whirlwind, this is basically what this is. So there's lots of different playstyles in the game, and I cannot recommend you guys one particular one to suit your playstyle because everyone likes different things. But if you guys do want to play those builds, definitely check the pinned comment as well as the description, and I'll include links to a full playthrough guide for those, just because I'm going to be playing caster in this one, and I gave you guys like a more ranged bow build, and I also gave you guys a melee build. There are lots of things in between, and don't think that because this man is a big man with hammer that he's going to be melee only, or maybe this character that's the Ranger is bow only. You can do lots of cool things in Path of Exile. In fact, each one of these can ascend to 3 different ascendancy classes. It's like an advanced class. With the exception of the Scion, this one's a little bit different, but we won't get into that one for this video. But for the sake of the video, I want to play the Witch, and I'm going to be using the Eye of Winter, which is a completely new skill. So we're going to go ahead and hop right in. So we have to name our character. We have the Expedition League, and let's get started. So I will be skipping out on any of the dialogue in the game, but feel free to go ahead and throw this video on another monitor and follow along. So as soon as you hop in, you'll get a weapon. You'll have to talk to this guy, and he will get eaten up, and we will eliminate the enemy over here. And here's how this game works, and feel free to change your keybinds and all that thing if you want to. A lot of times when Path of Exile starts, a lot of people will recommend for beginner guides to download all these programs. I will have a video for that linked down below in case any of you guys want to, but I feel like it's very overwhelming to people to get all these different extensions and all these things to really run this game at maximum potential, because it can scare people away. But starting right off, you'll get a gem. Feel free to put this gem inside of these sockets. So how skills work in this game, it's not like you level up, you get a new skill like you would in some action RPGs. You put this inside, and these are going to be your skill gems. There's a skill gem, and then there's also going to be a gem that's a support gem. So there's like active gems and support gems is kind of basically the wording that they use. But if you want to change up your keybinds, feel free to do that. I will have probably different keybinds than most of you. I like to use left click for move only, and I also like to have another button just for move only, just for the sake of ease. But you can select any of the keys right here. You can change all of your interface. You know, you can do a lot of different things with the game if you want to in the very beginning. So feel free to do that kind of before you play anyways. And we're just going to start walking. And if I want to pop a flask over here, which is like kind of like a potion. So the blue one is for mana and the red one is for your HP. When your HP goes out, you die. So here's how the game gets a little complex. So if I put this gem next to this gem and see how they're linked, it will gain this benefit. So now this is a support gem, and it makes it so I gain Arcane Surge after spending a certain amount of mana with the supported skill. It does more damage, and then it grants us extra mana regeneration. Our skill is Fireball, and this is linked to it. So Fireball deals damage and has a chance to ignite enemies. So that will be doing a damage over time. But yeah, let's go ahead and just venture off. Looks like this, there's a recent update on NVIDIA earlier today. I wonder if it actually made the fire starting to flicker. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, another thing that is pretty nice, if you hit F1, you can see your ping, which I like to have. But yeah, there's definitely an issue with the rendering in terms of the flames. It seems like the most recent NVIDIA update might have not been the greatest idea to let go through. But we can change our render settings in a second. So this is like your first little like boss here. His name is Hillock. So all you have to do is basically just shoot him, move away, shoot him, move away, and he'll eventually go down. For melee, he's a little bit more of a challenge, I'll be honest, but you'll get him down, don't worry about it. Oh, you know what, we're out of mana. So we'll just have to... You can see, they do a lot of damage in this game. Go pick up some items. So what I'm going to do really quick, depending on your settings, you can definitely change this. Actually, because it will be easier for recording, for like getting the numbers to match up, I'm going to put a number that's divisible by 60. And then I'm going to also change the, I'm not sure if it's, there's a setting under the graphics to change it to DirectX 11 instead of Vulkan. So this will take 1 second and it will re-render the game. And I'm thinking that this might fix the issue with the fire that was flickering. I know you guys saw it earlier, or I at least could see it. So now that we've defeated Hillock, we can go to the town and hop right in. And what we're going to do with our passive point, feel free to follow this if you want to. Keep in mind that everyone likes to do things differently, but if you're a new player, yeah, following me is probably going to be the most advisable, because I will not mess up the character and go for something like Chaos Inoculation early on that will actually pretty much ruin your character. But you can respec in this game, so don't worry about it too much. So next we got a quest to find a medicine chest. We also get a reward from Tarkley. So we'll get the reward real quick. So we'll go to Hillock reward and we can pick a new gem. I'm going to recommend you guys get Freezing Pulse, but get whatever you want. Like honestly, you'll be okay, because we're just scaling right now. We're scaling specifically our spell damage. And now we got an item that was yellow. We can identify it. So we'll just do this. Throw it on, we get whatever stats it gives us. That's what it gives us, which is awesome. Or I can equip this and get even more spell damage. So you'll see if I hold, if I touch C for character, if I go to offense over here, you'll see my face is blocking it. So let me go move this out of the way. So you'll see how much damage my ability does. So we were using Fireball before. Let me actually just do this because it'll actually make more sense. So you can see if I swap to dual wielding, this gives me 10% spell damage, which will increase our damage per second. I'm going to be using Freezing Pulse because we will be going Eye of Winter, so we're going to start to scale cold damage in a moment here. But basically, dual wielding, if you have a modifier, it will work for the other, like, if it gives you like bonus like stats like HP or whatever, you don't have to have that weapon on its rotation. It's different for some action RPGs, but yeah, basically, yeah, we get more damage when we have two of them if it has a modifier that grants us, plus cold damage or whatever the case may be. But the next quest that we're going to be doing is going to be the medicine chest. So we will go and continue. So now we have a new skill. It's called Freezing Pulse. This is what it does.
Just like my sisters.
And we will be just leveling up, continue the campaign over here. And we'll eventually get a lot of different skills to play with. And at any point you see me play with a skill that maybe you like the previous one, maybe you like Fireball. Hey, stick with Fireball. Do whatever you want to do. My guide is meant for you guys to learn Path of Exile versus to learn a very specific build. It's almost like the saying, teach someone how to fish so they can actually, you know, sustain themselves versus just handing them a fish because then they can only eat that one fish, right? But you'll see that some of these enemies will be frozen, and frozen is very good. The enemy can't do anything when it's frozen. And feel free to pick up any items because this game is an action RPG. We're going to get different drops. So your experience on the map, certain times, certain things will maybe not spawn in. They might spawn in a different area. The map could be twisted. And that's normal. We're actually going to go down this way because we are going to be getting a Quicksilver Flask for our quest. And the Quicksilver Flask will be another flask. So we have our health, we have our mana, and then we will have our movement speed. That's what we're going to be getting next. And try to group up enemies if you want to be a little bit more efficient with your time. And also something I want to mention. See how this grants us energy shield? This will be another form of HP, but it will be taken away before life. So you can see that there's this enemy over here. And we will eliminate him. And he does extra cold damage. You see, when I get, almost looks like my character is like in a lighter opacity, like bluish gray. That means we're going to be chilled. We'll also see the condition on the top left, where it will show off negative effects on your character. Normally, Elementalist, which is what we plan to roll, is immune to everything towards the end of the game. Woo, there we go. Now, you'll notice I have a sound that plays. It's called the loot filter. If you want to learn more about that, feel free to go ahead and check out my video that goes over all of the tools. But what it does is makes it so when a certain item drops or like a unique item drops, it will make a sound. And this way I know like specifically that something has dropped. It also will show something visually up on the map. It just makes things a little bit easier for me personally, and I suggest everyone to get a loot filter at some point, but I know some people don't want to mess around with like installing things in the very beginning. That's why I don't like show you guys this in like the very beginning. But now we're gonna go to the mud flats. Actually, it'll be faster. I'm gonna show you guys a good trick. So a lot of times it's faster to go to your waypoint and then return to town, but it's even faster to log out of the game and then log back in, depending on your computer's speed. But for most people, they'll probably want to just do it this way. But I will also show you guys the fastest way, which is some of the quests, once you complete them, it's better to log out, log back in, and just use the waypoint, and you'll actually be faster. We're going to take the Quicksilver Flask because it's just much easier. Now we get another gem support, so we can get Infused Channeling, we can get Chance to Poison, or we can get Summon Phantasm support. Now you'll notice that if I mouse over this, you'll see where it says Freezing Pulse, and then there's a check mark. The thing that it's doing is it's basically saying if it works with the supported skill that we are already using. In fact, if I put in, let's say, the Fireball over here, it'll show, does this work with Fireball? Does it work with Freezing Pulse? So it makes it much easier for you to know if something is going to be usable on your thing. I'm going to get this thing called Summon Phantasm support, and we're actually going to return and get a new skill, and you'll see how the Summon Phantasm support works. So basically, when we kill an enemy, they will have a chance to spawn a Phantasm, which we'll be able to use very soon. And what it does is it summons a little like a minion. So yeah, I like Freezing Pulse in the very beginning. It's a very nice skill to use. And feel free to read everything in detail about the skill. Okay, so we leveled up. We'll go ahead and get increased spell damage over here. We're actually going to be pathing up and getting this as soon as possible, just because I like to get a decent amount of damage in ASAP. And feel free to level up your gems, even if you don't want to use them, because you might want them for something later. Or you can level up the gem, and later you can sell it to someone. And it's always good to pretty much have most of your gem slots filled up if you want to go ahead and make a little bit of extra profit later down the line. But I'll show you what that support gem does as soon as we can actually use it, which will be within the next level here. So our next quest is to get these eggs. We're actually going to grab 3 of them. There's another quest called Defeated Pool, but I'll tell you guys all the important quests that you will actually want to do, as some of them will not offer a reward that will actually matter. Oh, whoops. We need to actually equip this so I can show you what this does. So this is a Quicksilver Flask. And how flasks work. I probably should explain this too, because there's so much to explain in Path of Exile. So how a flask works, unlike in other games where like your potions are on a cooldown or you have to have like stacks of them, how it works in Path of Exile is as you kill monsters, you will be gaining flask charges. And you see if I mouse over it, how much it consumes. So depending on how many monsters you're killing, that's how fast you'll be getting your extra charges. And we are level 4. So I will show you guys how this works. Okay. So we have the Summon Phantasm support. So we will equip it with Fireball. And what happens, and I'll show you guys what this does. So we're going to get 3 of these. So we want to kill them with the Fireball. And so when we kill them with the Fireball, you see that minion? It's now summoned. And you can see it has HP 2. And over in the top left, it will also show the HP. And in the very beginning of the game, mana is kind of rough. In fact, this most recent expansion did make it even a little bit more tough for most builds. Let's go ahead and eliminate these guys. We can actually get extra cast speed or damage. And it's kind of harder to get cast speed in the very beginning. And for animation canceling and making the game run a little bit smoother, we need to, I think, get 1 more over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here. We're going to insert some of these gems. We need three of them, though, to continue on. And at any point, feel free to open up the quest menu. I have mine probably keybound to something different. But at any point, if you need the menu, it's over here. And you can see all of the different things. So I'm going to first off put in a skill point. So you can get extra damage, and I probably recommend you guys get the extra damage and go here. But if you want the cast speed, which I actually prefer, I'm going to go here. This makes the leveling much faster and going through the campaign a little bit faster if you know certain tricks with animation canceling. Even though this is not supposed to be a speed run, like I'm trying to show you guys how to play the game, and I'm going to be going a lot slower than I normally would to stop and explain certain things. Feel free to copy me or kind of venture off. Oh, this is the new League mechanic. Let's try this out. I'm going to go get this row nest first. And we can eliminate the enemies via the fireball. And hopefully we can get those summons. And in the very beginning, the game is very rough. So if you die at any point, it's okay. It's normal. Path of Exile for the first time is a rough game. So we're going to get more cast speed. We can even go over here and even get more HP too if you want to. I want to say kind of feel free to experiment. But at the same time, if you do mess up in the very beginning, you won't have any respec points. But you can never really mess up a character super hard unless it's the very beginning you don't have anything to swap. So this is a new Expedition League. I don't even know how this mechanic works, but we're about to find out. I'm not going to hear the dialogue. I just want to go and try this mechanic. So I think how it works is we want to get as many of these as possible inside. Okay. I think we want to get a bunch of things inside of this ring, specifically the things that would show off that there's a reward. Like this is showing off a reward, so let's try this out. Okay.
This might unearth monsters. You can take him.
So we're gonna start throwing our fireballs over here. Well, it looks like there's a little bit of latency here. Sometimes, by the way, on the first week of the Path of Exile expansion, there's just lag. You might have disconnects. The game will crash. Honestly, it's normal. It's just that the first week, there's just so many players and servers. But here's the Quicksilver Flask. I activate it. You can see the little, like, white crystal around us. So, the point of this new expansion, let's see what we get. Okay. We have some new form of currency here, too. You know what? We don't even have anything for, like, a normal attack. We need more mana flasks, but eventually we will sustain mana much easier. Oh, this guy hits pretty hard. Okay, so this is the new form of currency, I think. So we get a bunch of these chests. We can open them up, see what we get. And in this game, you cannot equip unidentified objects. In some games you can. In Diablo 1 is like, I feel like the only action RPG that you can do it. So there's different defense modifiers. Evasion rating is where you will dodge and you just don't take any damage. Energy shield, which is basically like another form of health that goes on top of your health. So right now I'm going to keep this because it has 2 blues linked. This one also has 2 blues linked. This one actually will give us okay-ish little damage. Very beginning.
Too much clutter.
Okay. Oh, this gives us more spell damage. So this one right here. Whoops. This one's 12, and this one's also 14. But we don't know what it does. If I identify it, maybe... Oh, this one's pretty good for +1 to all those lightning spell gems. We're not using lightning. We want cold. This grants us fire resist. Fire resist is actually pretty good in the very beginning of the game. In fact, cold resist is the best in Act 1, because that's where the boss will do more damage. So now we're going to also... what do we have? We can identify these gloves. Fire damage to attacks. Now, since we're doing spells, it's not an attack. But this is a unique weapon that we just got. And increases damage when on low life. Adds a decent amount of damage. In fact, like, we could probably get more damage by just actually autoing. And we'll mess around with some stuff.
Yes.
Oh, so we get to buy some items. Okay, so we have... Okay, so we can buy any of these? Okay, that's kind of cool. I think what I'll do is intelligence and identify. We got mana. Well, it's identified as a white item. Oh, it has different costs. Okay, so we have broken circle artifacts. We have 8 of these. So I guess some of these we can't buy, right? Oh, okay. Oh, it's basically unidentified. Can I buy this too? Oh, I can get that too? Perfect. This would be a nice little start. Can I get this as well? I'm not sure how much we have of whatever currency. Oh, we had like... Now we still have 12. So let's see if there's anything else we want. If there's nothing else we want, don't worry. We can still save our currency. We don't have to buy it now, but I'm just going to spend as much as possible now. This is great. We get some extra life. It's got 2 blue links. And isn't there a plate vest? Okay, that's a yellow. All right. Unfortunately, it didn't give us movement speed. Actually, we're going to keep... we're not going to use this because now I got some extra stuff to play around with. And we got this. This has got life regen. And now I'm going to put these 2 blues in here. So these are still linked. So I have the Phantasm on kill. If I could get the Arcane Surge and the Freezing Pulse and the Summon Phantasm, I'd put them all into one because then I get like a more double dipping. But that will cost more mana, and that's one of the bigger updates with the change. But now I got this. Grants me extra mana, a life on kill, cold resist. This is nice. Extra intelligence. This is all damage added to attacks. Doesn't really benefit us too much, to be honest, because we're not actually attacking. Another thing that's really good is see how there's a blue, a green, and a red linked. We're going to pick up all of these in the very beginning. The reason why is we're going to trade it to a vendor, and the vendor is going to grant us a chromatic orb, which will change the colors of the orbs. So how the money works in this game, because there's no gold in this game, is... all of the things that change your items will actually be your forms of currency in this game. And that's the awesome part with this game. It's cool because that makes it so they always have a value. But yeah, now we're going to go to the submerged passage over here. And we're going to get the waypoint. Like I said before, a lot of times you can log in and out, and that could be fast as well. But in this case right here, we're just going to go back to Lionized Watch. And we will... this is a new like NPC. Oh, so we can just sell items. Okay, just like you normally would. Now I'm gonna just go sell this item. Don't worry about like uniques. They're not really like they're equivalent to I guess legendaries in Diablo if you've played that game. But don't worry about them too much. The important thing. Let me move my face out of the way so you guys can actually see this. So you'll see that we will get some currency. This is the item. If I have a red, green, and blue, they're all linked, I will get a chromatic orb. This is really good. It's not something that I would advise using in the very beginning, but I want to show you guys how it works. So see how there's a red, like this, I can trade for another chromatic orb as well, actually. But see how there's 3 linked. I want to keep... See if there's anything else that's 3 linked. I want, if I get all these to be blue, this would be excellent. There's a better chance because it just grants energy shield for it to be blue. If it has more armor, it's a higher chance for red. Evasion, it's green. Generally. There are some exceptions to this rule though. But I'm going to use this. I'm going to right click on it and it's going to reforge the colors. Oh, we got triple blues. Well, okay. Honestly, that was really good luck over there. You know, but it happens, man. That's the exciting part with Path of Exile. So I'm going to put Freezing Pulse. I'm going to throw that Arcane Surge support. And I'm going to get that Summon Phantasm support all right into one, which is awesome. I guess we got some like achievement or something for this league. But that's really cool. And now we have a portal scroll. You also get portal scrolls in the game, but in the very beginning, you don't get that much. So pick up a lot of items in the very beginning. You can just like start selling them. Sometimes it can be better to identify items, and if you don't happen to have the scrolls, then well, sometimes it's unlucky. It happens. But we're gonna go ahead and put some currency in over there. We'll talk to Tarkley, and we will get a new skill called Frostbomb, which I actually like a lot. There's also Raging Spirit. You can pick up, you know, a lot of different skills, and you don't feel like you just have to get these from the reward. We're also gonna get ourselves Frostblink, which lets us teleport.
Farewell.
We also get Flame Dash pretty soon. Actually, you know what? Let's use this skill. So we're gonna be using Frostbomb now. Keep in mind, at any point, if you like a very specific skill, feel free to use it. Now, since we have, actually, do we have any forms of currency? No, we don't have enough to buy any of these things, I think. But this is where, like, the shop is. The vendors in this game will actually have a lot of good stuff at the very beginning of the game for, like, starter gear. Whether it's you want potions or, like, extra life, extra mana. It's just nice to get some of these things at the very beginning. But I want to continue progressing, and we will do one of the next quests that will grant us a skill point called the Dweller in the Deep. But now we got a new skill. So this is how Frostbomb works. You throw it down, and in a couple seconds it pops. And you'll see it pops. And it might take like 2. Now we'll get that Phantasm. If I want to use this skill. It does proc something that's important, and I will go over that in a second. After we kill these groups of enemies. And you'll see that this skill has a cooldown. We cannot just spam it. So it's kind of nice to have this in conjunction with another ability. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to put Frost Blink over here. This is another skill. Here's our skill. Here's what it looks like. So we'll try to freeze the enemy. We can also ignite the enemies, get more damage in as well. But watch out for when you get frozen and things like that. Right now we don't have any way to like remove the freeze if we do get frozen. But later down the line we will. Will be a flask for us. Or we can get certain items that make us immune to it. That's also another option. Okay. So I just made a little sound. Something dropped. Maybe we can make use of it. Okay, so what I want to do now is, now that I've shown you Frostbomb, since all the damage got nerfed, usually it will like one-shot things, I'm going to put Frostbomb over here. What it does is it applies cold exposure to the enemy, and that will make it so they take more damage. So I'm going to put Frostbomb on my W, and then on my E, I'm going to put Freezing Pulse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to want to use Frostbomb, and then I'm going to spam Freezing Pulse. What does this grant us? Sometimes it might be better just to save your scrolls of wisdom that identifies the items. We're gonna have another skill point, and I'm just gonna put more into cast speed. But honestly, if you go the damage route, it could be really good as well. Usually I just go for the cast speed, because you still one-shot things with Frostbomb, but the most recent nerfs for this game, yeah, it could be a little bit rough. Now, oh, another thing I need to mention. I've actually upgraded my gems a few times. But see, there's just so much stuff to go over with Path of Exile. So right here, I'm going to click on the little plus, and that's going to level up our gem. Now, in most cases, you will always want to upgrade your gems, but there are exceptions, and we'll get into that a little bit later with what's called like cast when damage taken. Or if you specifically don't want to pay like the higher mana cost because the ability... Like, you just need something to be active and you don't care about, like, the level of it. Because the level of it could maybe increase the radius, or it'll change in a way where it doesn't matter for you. And you don't want to pay the mana cost. There are reasons to not upgrade your gem. But generally, it's going to give you more damage. So we're just going to venture off when we need to look for the little cave. We're going to pop our flask over here. Usually, I like to throw the... Okay, now it looks like we're kind of one-shotting things again. Oh, we have another expedition. Let's do these. These are definitely worth doing in the very beginning. So sometimes people don't like to do the league mechanic in the very beginning. Oh, monsters are immune to fire damage. Monsters are immune to cold damage. Guess what? We do cold damage. So you know what that means? We're going to have to use Fireball. And this is something that is newer to Expedition that wasn't in the previous league. The previous league was the not ritual, was it
I need more mana.
ultimatum. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this. So you'll see
Go well.
that we have, so obviously monsters immune to fire damage, it doesn't really matter, but it has a 50% chance to drop additional rare jewelry.
Good.
Now remember, this one over here is immune to cold damage, but this is extra quantity of the items dropped by monsters. For the sake of doing it, like I could do it really easy, but I'm just trying to show you guys an example, and I want to be a good a teacher here. So like, because I'm basically going to be scaling cold, right? There might be things that are too dangerous, and we're just not going to do them. And that's how Path of Exile is. There's going to be maps, and there's going to be things that you cannot do in the game unless you're playing with a group, or you want to modify your build to be hybrid. Or sometimes there's what's called like reflect damage. Some people just, they can't engage in the reflect damage, and that's okay. Some characters are not designed to do every form of content or every map modifier. Some people just focus in on destroying bosses. Oh, nice, we got another mana flask. Like I said, honestly, if I wanted to do it, I probably could have. I just used Fireball. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm just trying to get you guys in the mindset that you don't have to do everything. We got some extra damage on that. Let's see what we got. A round shield. And don't worry about picking up everything in this game. Okay, so we didn't really get that many like items from that one other than this. Do we have a wisdom? We have wisdom. So this grants us fire resist and the extra spell damage. What we want to get on this extra mana life gain on kill, you know what? It's 2% difference. I'll take it. This one also gives us a chance to block. But on default, if you do dual wield, you do have a chance to block. I believe it's 15% chance to block. On just dual wielding anyways. So you do get a benefit from it. Let's grab this portal scroll for sure. So yeah, we're still going to be doing Dweller in the Deep. Let's go ahead and progress a little bit. And we're like, usually, okay, so the ledge is the next area that we want to get to, but I do want to do a quest here. It's called Dweller of the Deep, and that will grant us an extra skill point. So sometimes it can be faster to log out and load in, and I will show you in which case that would have been more viable. So we're going to go do that. We're just going to move very fast. Don't worry about killing every single monster that you see on screen. One thing that I like doing with Frostbomb, the reason why I usually pick it up, is still one-shotting things. It's close to one-shotting. So I might have to do one freezing pulse, and then it will one-shot. So like I would throw that, and then I'd do that, and then it would one-shot. Usually you want to do it the other way around. Use the Frostbomb first, because then it'll apply the exposure. But you get the idea. So that way you can go a little bit faster. And we'll get some other forms of mobility. Don't worry, this is not the only one. So we'll throw down this. The exposure, swing that once. Oh, that just eliminated all. Depending on the monsters. I guess these we can kill in 2 hits anyways. Got this. Let's grant us extra life.
When I'm ready and not before.
And be sure to click on all the chests that you get. It's basically like free loot. And if you see something not pop out, I have what's called a loot filter on. And that will make it so certain items just won't pop up unless I hit a key, which is, in my case, it's going to be Alt. So let's see. Oh, look at all these other ones. Monsters deal increased damage, but they grant increased experience. So this level, you see the monster level is level 6. I'm level 7, so I'll get reduced XP anyways, but regenerate life. Okay, let's go and detonate. So I'm just going to just place these. Oh, I can hit, there's a hotkey for it. Okay, let's go detonate it. Okay, there we go. And like having those little phantasm support, it's so helpful, honestly. Because it really makes it so the aggro isn't all just on you, which is really nice. This guy's actually doing a decent amount of damage, okay. Okay. Okay, we got a medium life flask. Let's go and upgrade. So I want to have 2 mana flasks because I feel like that's just going to be better for me. But now we got an upgraded life flask. We got another upgraded life flask. I'm just going to get rid of my older ones. Oh, wait, we have an increased spell damage, but we don't have a scroll of wisdom. Okay, here we go. We got a scroll of wisdom. Let's see if this yellow is going to be better. We have extra int. That's great. Physical damage doesn't matter. Increased crit. Mana on kill is going to be kind of worth it. Even though this reduces our... this one grants us actual extra mana as well. 1 mana is pretty low, to be honest. Like, we'd have to kill 36 of them to get the benefit of that. But this one is only 8 spell damage, so I can replace this one with that one. Hey, there we go. So let's go ahead and continue. Oh, wait, those were our old ones. And then we now have Chain Belt, which grants us extra energy shield. Let's see, we have 12. Okay, I just automatically equipped it. Let's see if there's anything else. There's 2 more chests to open up. We have a new chest plate. Orb of... Okay, do I have a white ring? Here we go. So I'm going to show you what this does. So this upgrades a normal item. So a normal item is going to be like a white. So it's like, you can think of it kind of like a common. So to upgrade it into a magic item, we will use what's called an Orb of Transmutation, and it'll gain some modifiers. Now we have 4 extra life, 10 fire resist. Hey, throw it on. Kind of cool. Just going to get rid of that. We have another Scroll of Wisdom. I'm going to see what this amulet has. Because our current... Oh, we got another Quicksilver. This is awesome. I'm going to actually double up on these. I would like to have 2 mana flasks, but it's alright. I'm going to drop that. Okay. And so with the new amulet, what does it grant us? Accuracy doesn't... we don't really need that. Increased mana regen is great. What does this grant us? 1 energy. Okay. This doesn't really matter. We don't have enough crit to really scale the crit anyways. I'm going to value this because it grants us that extra mana regen. So I value that. And we're going to definitely pick up these. Oh, that's right. We can go to her and trade. Oh, we can gamble. Oh, okay. So what is this? Oh, this is the gambling. Oh, that's why when we ID'd the item. Oh, okay. So there's nothing here. So we can refresh the items, I guess. Can we just like right click on it? How does this work? Oh, here, we click on this. So we have 1 to refresh these items. So let me move my face out of the way real quick again. This is for the Expedition League, so this is like the new mechanic. So, like, let's say I don't want any of these, right? There's nothing here. I refresh it.
I'll just shuffle these around and tell you they're different.
And let's see. Oh, what's this? Let's see. We got Iron Circlet. Right now, like, what do I want to upgrade? Definitely not my Circlet, because it's a very small chance that we get, like, a 3-link. So what would be maybe better is the Goat's Horn, or I can grant myself this extra ring. I'm going to grab this ring. Let's see what it grants us. Extra mana. Cast speed. I love it. Great. And how much? What did these cost again? Common Broken Circle. Okay, so we got, like, 2 more. Let's see what this does. Ooh, okay, we can't even use this yet. Oh, adds cold damage to spells. Amazing, amazing. Okay, we're excited. We got something good off that, and I'm gonna save the rest because there's not really anything I want here. You probably shouldn't re-roll in the very beginning, unless you're really desperate for like stuff that happens. We're gonna go and get increased elemental damage, and we're gonna start scaling our cold damage. We're gonna go up here and basically just go right over to here. I want to get this ASAP. It lets me kind of play a little bit more aggressive. However, if you want more HP, you can grab these 3 right here as well. If you feel like, it's kind of a little difficult, don't worry, man. The game is not easy for sure. But yeah, we're going to at least do Dweller in the Deep. I know that there's just so much to show you guys in this game. So that's why it's a little bit slower in terms of our progression. Because I need to show you guys all these mechanics. But the game will get faster, don't worry. It's just that I'm stopping, pausing, checking out things. So this is Dweller of the Deep. It is a enemy, and it's part of a quest. It will grant you a skill point. Skill points are good. So yeah, make sure you throw that Frost Bomb down, grant yourself that extra exposure. We got a large amount of flask. That's awesome. And what are we, level 8? Okay. And we got double. Oh, we got another Iron Circlet. But unfortunately, since it doesn't have those sockets, it's pretty much not going to be an upgrade. And remember that the green, red, and blue linked.
Too much clutter.
Well, okay. Let's move some stuff around. We got to play inventory Tetris. Grab all of these in the very beginning. You'll want to start stocking up on these. And if the item is yellow, like some people like to ID certain items. There are certain like bases, but this is like it's relatively minor. But like sometimes people will want to pick up items to kind of be a little bit faster. So. And they'll pick up items to sell to get a little bit more currency in the very beginning, but it's like you have to know like what you're doing with it, and to show you all the bases and like what items would give you some currency. But pick up all of the uniques, aka the legendaries in the game. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to exit to the character selection screen. This is what I was talking about, where it's gonna be faster for you to actually load in. So now we can talk to Tarkleigh. He's gonna give us a book and. Well, if I have to move this out of the way. So we'll sell this. What else? I'll just get rid of that. and we'll get the reward, get the book.
Farewell.
And with these skill point books, you right click on them, and bam, we got another skill point. And what are we gonna get? We're gonna get Frostwalker. That's extra cold damage, extra cast speed with cold skills, and cold resistance. It's really nice. Like I said, if you wanted to go this route too, you'd actually have more damage, but I really don't like not having cast speed. It makes the game, when you're casting certain abilities, especially since there's not much cast speed that you can get without prioritizing like staves or wands. So one thing that's nice with this skill tree, if I want to get like, since we're going to be scaling cold damage up until a certain point where we get battle mage, then we might actually go fire. I'm going to type in the word cold. So you can see now it's going to highlight everything with the cold, like word cold in it, but we're going to go over here. But we're gonna go this route. Or if I want to go for like, let's say cast speed, right? I want more cast speed. What is anything with cast speed? Now, this might not be a benefit for us. It still highlights it though, because it does have that cast speed with lightning skill. So make sure you read everything in Path of Exile, otherwise you're gonna have a bad time. You can actually get refund points. It's not the end of the world if you make a few mistakes, even if you make a lot of mistakes. Towards the end of the game, sometimes people spend hundreds of these Orb of Regrets and they respec their build out to not only try something else out, but maybe what they tried failed. It happens. So that is one thing to go ahead and mention as well, as it is quite important in this game. And now we're gonna go continue to our main quest, which is actually not Dirty Job, even though this is the only one marked. At any point you can open up the quest, but I'm kind of telling you guys, you know, which quest that you want to do anyways, because this one grants us a skill refund point. If for whatever reason you messed up, feel free to get that. But instead, we are going to continue down the submerged passage. But remember how I logged out? This is going to be faster to log out and log back in versus walking all the way back. It depends on where the area is. Sometimes it can be faster. It just kind of depends. But we actually need to progress, and we need to go all the way over there. But this is where I'm going to go ahead and end it on part 1 of our playthrough. But hopefully this video guide helped you guys out. And if it did, drop a like on it. And if you're new here and do want to see the next part of our play session, and even though you might be feeling confident, I'm gonna be honest with you. This game is hard. You need someone to follow. If you, for whatever reason, felt like you want to watch someone else's guide, do it. Follow someone's guide for this game, because this game is very difficult. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see the rest of you guys in part 2, which will be uploaded very soon. And if there's anything that's a little bit confusing, definitely let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try to help you guys out as much as I can. But take care, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. And I'm signing out. Peace.